Today is Wednesday, September 15, 2021. Let's continue with Unit 5, Forms of Energy.
Good morning, science time. Good morning, P3. It is Wednesday, September 15, 2021. We will start today with a science class. What we will do today, we will review all those forms of energy that we saw in the previous science lessons. There are so many and there are quite difficult words as well. So today we will just slowly review them, have a look at them again and pronounce the forms of energy again and look at the characteristics, what kind of energy they are. So that's what we're going to do today. But we will start with a little vocabulary as always and then we will review the forms of energy. Good, let's look at the first three words for this morning. Number one, B-A-T-T-E-R-Y. B-A-T-T-E-R-Y. Battery. Battery. Now I think you all know what a battery is, but if you don't know, for example, remember my clock? There, the battery is missing, right? So we should put one of these batteries inside the clock and the battery stores electricity and then the clock will work again. So it's not working now. So that's a battery. Batteries in all shapes now. In your watch, for example, you have very small flat batteries. In your telephone, for example, you have usually a flat battery in the shape of a rectangle or a square and it's about this thick. And you can recharge it. All these things are batteries, so a battery stores energy. Remember what kind of energy? Okay, chemical energy, right. Okay, number two, C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-N-G. Connecting. Connecting. Okay, connecting means putting two things together, or three things, or four things. So, connecting means putting two or more things together. For example, you can connect the plug from the cable, like this one, right? When you put it in the wall socket, you're connecting the electricity. Also, if you have, for example, Lego, you can put the blocks on top of each other, you connect the blocks. So connecting means putting things together. Okay? Okay, number three. Wires. W-I-R-E-S. Wires. Okay, you know this. This is a cable, right? This is connected to an old fan, old electric fan. So this is a cable. But inside here, if you cut this, which you should never do, but if you would, inside there are two or three wires. Okay, they're usually made of copper and they make a cable around it so we can hold it safely, right? And inside there are the wires. Okay, one more time. Battery, B-A-T-T-E-R-Y, chemical energy. Two, connecting, C-O-N-N-E-C-T-I-N-G. And number three, wires, W-I-R-E-S. Okay, let's have a look at three more. Okay, three more. Number four, S-W-I-T-C-H. S-W-I-T-C-H. Can you pronounce that word? Right, it's a switch. Switch. What is a switch? Well, I will show you. Let's go over here. Look, you see, here are a couple of switches. This is a switch to turn the light on and off, right? And this is also a switch to turn the ceiling fan on. So that's a switch, that's a switch. There are different kinds of switches, but most switches, what they do, let me install this again, what they do, they turn something on or off. So we need a switch to turn an electrical appliance on or off. So that's a switch, click, click. Okay, next one, number 5, B-U-L-B, bulb, bulb. We don't see bulbs that much anymore because now we have different lights like those energy saving lights, but before most lights were like this. You can just twist it and then turn on the light, right, using a switch. That's a light bulb or a bulb. But we don't see those that much anymore. You have them very small in the car or even on your bicycle. You have very small ones, and in the house you have bigger ones. Number 6, C-O-P-P-E-R, copper. Copper. Copper is a metal, and it's like goldish in color, like a dark goldish color, and it's copper. And what is good about copper is that electricity goes through copper very well. That's why inside here the wires are always, I think always, made of copper, because it's a very good conductor of electricity. Okay, so one more time. Switch, S-W-I-T-C-H. Bulb, B-U-L-B. Copper, C-O-P-P-E-R. Okay, let's have a look at our forms of energy again. Okay, like I said when we start the video, let's look at those forms of energy one more time. We will look at them carefully and we will take our time and read them again so we know and remember these forms of energy. Okay, so let's have a look at the forms of energy again, and then I will see you after that.
Okay, let's look at the forms of energy one more time. Start with kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Energy exists in many forms. Kinetic energy is the energy due to the movement of an object. All moving objects have kinetic energy. The amount of kinetic energy a moving object has depends on its mass and how fast it is moving. The faster the car moves, the greater its kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is the energy in a moving object. When two objects are moving at the same speed, the object with the greater mass, so the object that is heavier, has a greater kinetic energy than the object with the smaller mass. This means that how heavier the object is, the more kinetic energy it contains. The next one, potential energy. In this case, gravitational potential energy. Potential energy is the energy stored in an object. There are three forms of potential energy. There are gravitational potential energy, elastic potential energy, and chemical energy. Let's start with gravitational potential energy. It's the energy an object has due to its height from the ground. Look at the tree. The coconuts on the tree have gravitational potential energy because when they fall down, that energy pulls them to the earth. And then there is elastic potential energy. Remember, this is the energy that is stored in stressed or compressed objects. For example, a rubber band. Look at the boy, he has a slingshot. When he wants to shoot a rock, he pulls it backwards. When he does that, the rubber band contains elastic potential energy. When he lets go of the rubber band, the rock will shoot away and the potential energy is released. So elastic potential energy is the energy stored in stretched or compressed objects. The stretched rubber band of the slingshot has elastical potential energy. And the third form of potential energy is chemical energy. Chemical energy you can find in food, batteries, and fuel. For example, the stuff you put in your car is fuel, it has potential energy. Also, batteries and food have potential energy. Chemical energy is the energy stored in substances such as food, batteries, and fuels. The substances undergo chemical reactions which change chemical energy into other useful forms of energy. Look at the boy, he's eating bread. His body will turn the bread into energy and also the petrol in the car. And the next one is mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy that an object has to do work. For example, the lifted hammer has gravitational potential energy, but it also has kinetic energy when it's moved and hit the nail. The nail is pushed into the wood. So these two energies combined, the sum of the two types of energy used by the hammer to do this work, is known as mechanical energy. So one more time, mechanical energy is kinetic energy and potential energy combined. And then a very important energy for us, electrical energy. Remember, I told you before, just look around you. I'm sure you can see 5, maybe 10 things that use electricity. It's a very common energy source and we cannot do without it. So electrical energy is the most common form of energy. We use it to do many things in our daily lives. For example, we use electrical energy to light up the bulbs and turn on our fans. And we can use electrical energy to make light energy. The sun is the biggest source of light energy, but we can also create our own light energy. Light energy makes the place bright. It allows us to see the things around us. And then there is sound energy. Sound energy comes from vibrating objects. For example, as you can see in the picture, when the drum is being hit, the drum skin vibrates and gives out sound, which is detected by our ears. Music is also sound energy. Sound energy is vibration. And finally, heat energy. Burning things and hot things give out heat energy. We cannot see it, but we can feel it. If you stand close to a fire, you can feel the heat. That is heat energy. Also, for example, if you have a hot cup of tea, you put your hands close to the cup, you can feel the heat energy from the cup.
Okay, so try to remember these forms of energy. For now, I will see you at 1 p.m. for our Zoom class. Okay, so I hope to see you there. Bye bye.